We are, and when you say y'all, you mean Mr. Mayoral candidate here, Sandy Stimpson. Welcome to Studio 10.
Good to be here this morning, Joe.
Well, it's so great to have you, and what we're doing all week long is we're cooking with the candidates. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, all three candidates for mayor will be right here. You're kicking it off this morning, so you said we're going to start with a little breakfast. So what are you making for us here today?
Well, we're going to make a gas house egg, and it's very easy to do, even for dads that don't cook,
Which
that want to help the wife.
You said yourself you don't do a lot of cooking.
Right.
But this is one of your specialties.
I can do this. Matter of fact, I can cook breakfast.
There you go.
I can cook eggs, bacon, grits, oatmeal, and breakfast I can do. And I enjoy doing it.
You know what they say, it's the most important meal of the day.
Absolutely. That's why we do it.
All right, so what ingredients do we need to get together to make these gas house eggs?
Very simple. You have to start with some bread. I've chosen whole wheat bread. You have salt and pepper to use to put on it after you've cooked the egg. Obviously, you have to have the eggs. I have a choice of either soft butter or real butter or stick butter. I prefer to use the real butter because it makes it taste better.
I agree.
Then you have your eggs, but you also have to have a cookie cutter because what we're going to do, we're going to cut a hole in the bread.
Okay.
And we're going to put it in the frying pan with the butter. And then we're going to put the egg in there and let it cook to your specification of your liking. And then that's it. And really from the time you start to the time you can be eating is 4-5 minutes max.
All right, well, let's just do one step in the process, and we're going to cut the hole in the bread.
We're just going to cut this with the cookie cutter, and we actually don't throw this away. We're going to butter that, and we're going to eat that also.
I like how your recipe includes a lot of call for butter.
Yeah, a lot of butter.
That definitely makes it good. So, Mr. Mayoral candidate, Sandy Stimpson, as you're here this morning, you know, a lot of folks out there are seeing you for the first time. What do you want to tell them about yourself? Let's hear a little bit of your background.
Well, I don't spend a whole lot of time cooking because most of the time is working. But, you know, my background, I'm a Mobilian. I've grown up here, been in the sawmill business all my life. I have 4 children, been married 37 years, 4 children, 4 weddings, 8 grandchildren, and number 9 on the way.
Wow, that is a lot of stuff going on. Big family. And maybe back to what we were talking about over there, very important. This is the most important question we're going to ask you this morning. Superman versus Batman.
Well, I heard you say that Batman was your guy, so he's my guy.
I like it. I like it. Batman on top. We'll see when the movie comes out in a couple years, and we'll see more about these gas house eggs when we come back in just a couple of segments. So stick around to see how these are made, and we'll talk more with Sandy Stimpson here, Sarah.
Very good.
All right. And welcome back to Studio 10. We are in the kitchen this morning with our Cooking with the Candidates. We have mayoral candidate Sandy Stimpson here. We were just talking during the commercial break about how when you make one of these, you don't make just one. When you have 4 kids at home, and did you say 8 grandkids?
8 grandchildren.
Yeah, so you're going to keep on making and making and making,
Correct.
right?
That's exactly right.
It's a good thing it doesn't take a whole lot of time to put this together.
Very little time.
Okay, so these are gas house eggs.
Gas house, also known as Betty Grable, as One-Eyed Jacks. They're multiple names.
Okay.
Been around for a long time.
All right. Well, they look delicious. The finished product looks great. So where are we? So far, we've taken a piece of bread.
All we've done is we've cut the hole in the bread, okay, and we're ready with our butter. And I prefer to use real butter, you know, instead of the soft butter.
But you could do either.
You could do either.
Okay.
You know, and so all you do, we're going to put it in the frying pan, and we're going to put the bread on top of the butter once it's melted, and then we're going to break the egg in there, and you just flip the egg after it's cooked to your satisfaction.
It's kind of like magic, how it all flips up together. Well, let's go ahead and add the egg because you've already heated up the pan.
I'm actually going to put the butter in first.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to get that going.
And how much butter is that?
That's about two tablespoons.
2 tablespoons of butter. So 2 tablespoons of butter per piece of bread.
That is correct.
Okay.
So we're going to throw a little hat in there, we call it.
Put them both in when you're cooking up the butter.
I'm not going to use all of the butter. I'm going to save some of that because I think that's enough.
It smells good.
It smells real good.
Yeah.
And then we're going to let that brown just for a moment on that side.
Okay.
And so while it's browning, you just wait to make sure that it doesn't burn.
Right.
And then when you think that it's brown, you go ahead and put your egg in.
Okay.
And then when we flip it, both sides will be brown.
Everything flips together.
Correct.
Yeah, it takes a little skill to do that.
Well, not a whole lot of skill. You can do it.
Now, this is something that you said that your family likes to eat.
My wife introduced me to it 37 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and her mother had cooked them for she and her brothers and sisters.
Oh, very good. Yeah. So a family tradition.
Yeah.
That's great. Do you think it's warm enough now?
I think it is. So we're going to go ahead and crack the egg. We're going to put it in the hole. Throw that away. Let it start frying. It's not very, very difficult.
Well, that's good, though.
Even for dads that don't cook,
I
they
tell
can
you,
do this.
I tell you what, though, for us moms that do like to cook sometimes, an easy breakfast is one of the best things you can get, because breakfast time is the time everyone has to get ready for school. You have
Correct.
to get out the door, go to work, whatever you have to do. So an easy but yummy breakfast is a good thing to do.
And depending on if you have fruit with it, and I love honey, and
Okay.
so I use honey on the little toasted piece.
Okay.
You know, and so you make a meal out of it.
You can put all
Grits,
kinds
eggs,
of things together.
everything.
Very good. Okay, so in a minute we're going to be flipping this, and
Yep,
this
we're
is
just
just
gonna-
as
Just
easy
turn
as
it,
it
turn
goes.
it, turn it over.
Oh yeah, it looks good.
Yep.
I'm gonna get out of the way.
Yep.
Because there's a technique to the flip, no doubt.
Oh no, it's just going to make sure that it flips, and we're going to just do that. And
Oh,
that's it.
right on.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so you serve it with fruit, you serve it with grits, you serve it with honey.
Bacon.
Bacon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jelly.
All
It's
of
just
these
it's just part of the meal.
Very good. And this is something that y'all have been doing. Now, you said, I want to know that. You said you have a grandchild on the way. I heard you talking with Joe.
Right.
Boy or a girl, or do we know?
We don't know.
Okay.
This one will be born in Connecticut.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we keep that one. The gender, it will be a surprise?
It'll be a surprise.
Oh, very good.
Very good.
All right. Well, in case you don't know, this is Sandy Stimpson. He is running for Mobile mayor, and he is cooking with us this morning and showing us one of the things that his family likes to eat for breakfast.
That's
and
it.
that
It's just that simple.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, very good. When Joe comes back, we're going to see if he can figure out how to do the flip. Joe, are you up for that? The flip?
Flippity-doo-dah, flippity-a. Back in the kitchen with mayoral candidate Sandy Stimpson making some gas house eggs. He made a few with Sarah. It's so quick and easy. We want to do some more here in the final segment, so let's get it going once again.
We'll do it one more time. Now, some people butter their bread before they put it in the frying pan.
Okay, so a little
But
variation
But
there.
I prefer to just put the butter in the frying pan and just let it be melting.
You know what? I think that's less work.
And well, it's easier to do that than it is. Then you
Yeah.
take your cookie cutter, you cut your hole in the bread, save the little hat, make sure that your butter is around, and you're going to put the bread in there.
See, I like that idea, because all you have to do is pretty much put it in there. You don't have to spread it. The spreading is an extra step.
You're right.
I think so. I like that move there.
Okay.
You know, my producer Allison Bradley of Studio 10, she's debating your title. She likes to call these Popeyes.
Yeah, they call Popeyes. They call One-Eyed Jacks, Betty Grable. I mean, they're all kind of names.
Facebook fan wrote in egg in a nest
Yes.
as well. So many
Yes.
different names
right.
for this.
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and put this, go ahead and crack the egg. We'll break it in there. And this makes it much easier to flip the egg when you have it encapsulated in the bread.
Sure.
Yeah, even somebody that's not a seasoned cook can do that.
I tell you what, I truly have never made this before. I'm going to give it a shot. It looks good.
It is, and it's wonderful.
Looks tasty. I can't wait to get it going here. Hey, one other thing I promised that I was going to ask you was another very difficult question, and it was the football question. The college football is so big here in the South. You're watching on Saturday. Who are you going to be pulling for?
Well, I went to the University of Alabama.
Okay.
Okay.
So there you go.
So, I mean, I don't need to say anything else about it. Yeah.
You don't need to say
Right,
anything
right.
else. And, you know, with Mobile's own A.J. McCarron at the helm this year,
Correct.
what's your prediction on the season?
Well, I think we'll be national champions.
National champions. You know what? I think a lot of people agree with you. Just voted #1 in the SEC Media Days poll, so looking pretty good for the Tide. What else? So you like University of Alabama? You're into some college football. What else can we learn about you today, Sandy?
Well, I've spent my entire career either working or being involved in civic organizations. I love working with children through education. My involvement at Pritchard Preparatory School and at UMS Wright over the last really almost 30 years. Pritchard Preparatory School in the last few years. And so I love to see children, you know, grasp something and say, you know, we can do this.
Right.
And so in seeing them grow, giving them opportunity, that's really what it's about. The lady that was the visionary for Pritchard Preparatory School, she just said there are children in Pritchard who are smart, they just need an opportunity. And really that's what education is about, is giving them an opportunity. And I just get a lot of gratification out of seeing that happen.
Well, that is great. And you know what? You better be good with working with kids, because you have 8 grandchildren. And as we mentioned, that 9th on the way. And you guys are pulling that Princess Kate type thing where you're not going to reveal the gender until later.
Well, and also we're not even in full production.
Yes.
Because my youngest daughter just got married about a year ago, and she has no children yet.
Uh-oh.
So,
it's going to be a big Thanksgiving dinner. You're going to need a bigger table.
Oh, absolutely.
For Thanksgiving coming up here soon. And a bigger table in the morning when you're serving all of these gas house eggs. If this recipe looks interesting to you, it is on our webpage, yes?
It is.
Oh, yeah?
Now, you can go online, and there are all kinds of different variations of names and how you do it and what you put with it. But I would just be assisting Jean in the kitchen as she's cooking.
There you go.
Right, but I can't do it.
I see you can do it, and you know what? I'm going to try one of these out too when it cools down in just a little bit. We do want to remind the folks as well, though, that this is Cooking with the Candidates Week here on Studio 10, Wednesday and Friday. We'll have the other two candidates in here, and we encourage you, whoever you're voting for, to go on out August 27th to vote for Mobile's mayor. This was a lot of fun, Sandy.
Thank you, Joe.
Appreciate you coming in.
Really, I enjoyed it.
Can I try this?
Absolutely.
This little part right
It's
here?
going to be good because it's got a lot of butter on it.
Buttery goodness. So good. We'll be right back with more Studio 10.